The Eatonville town elections is March 7th. That's a Saturday. And we are on right now with Vice Mayor Theo Washington. He is running for seat one, which is the mayoral seat in the town of Eatonville. Vice Mayor Washington, thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me. Definitely it's a privilege.
I so let's talk a bit about your background, where you're from. How long have you lived in Eatonville? What do you do for a living? And what are your favorite places in Eatonville?
That's gonna be the whole interview there. Oh wow. Well, I am from Eatonville. I've been here all my life. Oh, and my where I work is I work for UPS. Been there over 20 years. And one of the main things that I love about Eatonville is that how unique it is. How how some of the areas are very unique and we up got some things upcoming to make it better. Some venues that we have in the works that we have coming in. So that's other things I'm would make it even a lot better too. Those venues we got coming in.
So, what is your experience working with the Eatonville government? I know you're the vice mayor, but before that, how long have you been vice mayor?
I've been vice mayor for the last 6 years. And some of the unique things about working with Eatonville is that how different relationships, different personalities that we deal with on a yearly basis, with the colleagues and with citizens. And those are some of the things that you have to learn to grow with when you up, being in the politics here in Edenville, that the personalities that that goes on here in the town of Edenville.
Oh, can you speak a bit about that? Like, what do you mean? Like when you talk about personalities, I mean, Eatonville is a very unique place.
Yes. And you get different people say some positive things about the town, then you get to some that say what we need or what we're not doing and why this look like this. So my main thing is to take those conversations and make them to a positive to say, hey, we got this, we're gonna be doing this in the near future. So be looking out for that instead of keeping them down in the negative. So that's one thing I get with, my citizens when we get in those type of conversations to keep everything positive and where we're going in the near future.
So, what makes you qualified to be mayor?
Well, that's a good question. What made me be qualified to be the next mayor is that the opportunities came up unique, very unique timing. I like most people say, I've been the best man for a long time. I supported the last couple mayors as we ran on the ticket. Anthony Grant, former mayor, Miss Angela Gardner, current mayor. I supported. We was on the same ticket at the time. So, with she's not running, so I think there's an opportunity for me as the most experienced person on the diocese that's running that gave me that opportunity to take my journey to the next level. Take this to the next level, take the town of Edenville to the next level, and make things better.
And we're going to talk a bit about what you think that next level should be. But before we do, let's talk about the present. And one of the biggest issues in Eatonville right now has been the sale of the Hungerford property and the fact that Eatonville, the town is not really in favor of the way Orange County's public schools handled this. How did you feel about the sale and the way the mayor handled this as well?
Well, on that issue there, I want definitely not 100% in support of what happened there because we was going a different route. The mayor and the administration supposed to have been going a different route. Then we find out later the route they took was something totally different. That's why this council was so upset that that's not the route we was trying to take. The route we was trying to take was a whole different deal from this deal here. And Dr. Phillips was never in the picture on their first deal. So I felt like the school board felt like Dr. Phillips was so trustworthy, or they do a lot of stuff around the city of Orlando that okay, we could they could be a good partner to do this deal to sell the property to. But we felt like the deal we had on the table that let us control the land. If we have the land, we control the plan. That's how that works. But right now, with Dr. Phillips have the land, it's no way controlling the plan. So that's one reason why I felt like where we was, I'm not going to say, not kept abreast, transparency, that we was not really in favor of this Dr. Phillips deal with the school board. Then in the past, they did give us some land, the school board. We're going to give you guys 6 acres. So that never was talked about in this deal. So I don't know where do we stand with that, because they gave us land before Dr. Phillips, when anybody came in the picture, that this is what we're going to give you guys, get a town. So my main thing is there. So I want to make sure that we still have that on the table, plus get some other things done that we want in the community that the town needs. And a lot of those things that they're saying that they want to put on this property, it's like not, it's not bringing any taxes in. You know,
Hmm.
that's that's a couple of things that we talked about too. You know,
So it's not just a question of control. You're concerned that they're going to make changes that are not going to help Eatonville.
but the 4 things they want to put on the property is not going to really bring any revenue to the community like they said it would. You know, early learning center. So we have, the school board mentioned something like Hungerford have 180 seats empty, the school
Mm.
already. And they're closing schools already, as we know that. So why we want to build an early learning center with Hungerford losing, don't have 180 seats empty. So what we can do is we can incorporate the early learning center with Hungerford Elementary School. Why build that? And I was so surprised that these meetings they had with the stakeholders, they so called, that no one ever said, "Oh, why the town don't get a gymnasium, uh, a football field, those things there that we miss." That's one thing that we really need of. We don't have the amenities to do recreation. We don't have a gymnasium. We don't have a football field to do outdoor sports. And that's one of the things we were built on back in the days when I was growing up here. Well, I was coaching here, and that we had a football field that we used at Hungerford High School, Hungerford Prep, and we used the gymnasium. So that's some of the things that we're missing in this community that need to be brought back. These recreation amenities.
Um, so there was a vote, and I believe it was unanimous to sort of rein in Mayor Gardner's powers, make sure that she's communicating with you guys before she makes deals. Do you think that will make a difference for you when you are elected?
But
If you are
most things,
elected.
if I'm elected, that's won't be an issue with me because I would bring everything to the diocese. It's not the hitting thing. What we get here, we get people in power. They be in power, but they don't have the purpose. You have to have the purpose of it, not just being a power that you can do things. There should nothing go on in this town unless those 5 people up there says this is what we need to do. Administratively, that's something totally different because you run day to day. But when it comes to the town property or the town, they're putting the town out there signing anything, you must get permission. I would say permission to say this is what's going on in the town. This is what this developer want to do. And sometimes people easily swayed or they say brought, whatever they want to call it, on these kind of things. And sometimes you will see that if you look, you know, at it a different way. But that's not my goal there, not to hide things and bring stuff to the diocese, not good for the town of Eatonville. I never was that type of person. I have integrity. That's one thing I do have. And that's one thing, accountability, that people respected me on. And that's why 13 years ago, people asked me to run for council. And those people supported me for the last 12 years. They've been on council. So that's one thing I definitely won't have a problem with bringing things to the council that's doing best for the town of Eatonville.
Um, so what are Eatonville's biggest issues in your mind, and how would you solve them?
The biggest issues we have now is I'm looking at road projects that we have a lot of damaged roads in our community. And that's one of the programs I see around go when I'm around Sid Orlando, when I'm in Seminole County. I see around about November, October, November, they doing road projects, repairing roads, resurfacing roads. That's one of the projects that we need to come to Eatonville. We need to get a road project, get our roads done to make the roads better. Because right now, our roads are in need of being resurfaced. That's one of the big issues I have with the town. Of course, infrastructure that's already been in place. We got things in place for that. We have funding for it. Now it's time to implement it. So I think it's on the papers. It's on the table now. We'll be getting those things done. Um, so that's not an issue, the infrastructure part. So, but my main thing I want to look at is these roads that we have that need to be done that haven't been done over probably in the 70s, and that's when we got them paid. We was in, so that's one of my biggest projects right there that I want to tackle.
You had talked about needing a gymnasium and needing outdoor fields. I mean, I know you have a basketball court in Eatonville. Is that also something that's on your agenda, is adding more recreational areas?
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the plans for recreation. Definitely add a gymnasium to our community at the town recreation. You know, the Boys and Girls Club has a gymnasium, but that's the Boys and Girls Club. If you know how those organizations work, they're not friendly with the. I'm going to say community friendly with doing activities with the town. You have to have special permit, and special meetings to do things there. So we need our own for our own taxpayers that pay taxes to this community.
And finally, what do you think Eatonville needs to thrive in the future? What do you think are the things that will give Eatonville the best chance in the next
Well,
few decades?
I think what's on the map, what we have on the table now, bringing in small businesses, bringing in commercial businesses. We already have housing that's going up, so that's not a big issue. People talk about housing. That's not going to be the issue because we have that going up every day. Matter of fact, I think we got 3 or 4 houses going up at this moment. So that's not going to be the issue about housing. But our main thing is getting businesses here that can sustain and help the town tax base and bringing people to our community. We do events that bring people here on a monthly basis and quarterly basis, and people see those businesses at these events, and those owners that have these vending booths that want some of them want to move to Eatonville, but we must build something for them to come to. And like I know that a lot of rent is high. That's one reason a lot of people fold up and go just start doing a mobile truck, stuff like that. And that's what a lot of them do. But my main thing is we build some buildings that could bring those companies, those businesses in, those small businesses. That will help Eatonville a lot better to be on the nightlife. Eateries, people come to Eatonville to eat, they come walk through, things like that.
Cool. This is a final question I was just thinking of. Um, Eatonville is a town that it thrives on its history. If you were to go out there and you're going to have to advocate for Eatonville to business groups, to lobbyists, to politics, like what would you say to advocate for Eatonville to get people to think Eatonville is a place that people should bring their
The first
business, just come and hang out?
and the first thing is getting our Main Street building those buildings are in place. That's one of the first things because if you don't have the buildings, if you build, they'll come. That's the saying. But if you don't have anything, so I can't really advocate if I don't have nothing to say, hey, this is what we need to put in place first. So we need to build these buildings to get these people to come, get businesses to come in. So advocating, going out and telling them, hey, we want you to come here, but where were you going to go? What do I have for you to, where do I have you to go? So
Hmm.
the first thing we need to start building businesses that we have on our main street, empty lots. We own, town owned properties that we can build up to get little smaller businesses in that we have on the table for the future to bring small businesses in. So that's one of the things to advocate. And plus with other buildings in Eatonville that we have over here in like Maitland Center, not Maitland Center, but right here on Keller Road. Those businesses have companies come in, Spectrum. We get people over there all the time that come in. Well, they come in and out, but those type of businesses there would be good too. But bringing in the small businesses, like you saying, we have to build some buildings before they can come or have property before they can build. Because right, like I said, the rent is it's crazy for you starting a business and you're not getting the revenue or the foot traffic. And that's the one of the things you must have, the foot traffic, before you try to put something in place. And that's why we do these monthly events, quarterly events, to bring people to Eatonville, let them know that the traffic is here. We just got to put it here, put the businesses here.
And anything else you want to say to the voters, to Central Florida about Eatonville, about you as a running as a mayor candidate?
Well, one thing I would say, I'm a long time resident of Eatonville. I've seen the dirt roads, the orange roads. I've seen playing on clay basketball courts. I've seen it from the clay courts to the cement courts to tennis courts with nets broken down halfway. I have seen this place grow from there. Even with the Eatonville pool, I was part of that, having that built up. And that's something we have to do in the near future too, get a new aquatic center, something I really would support. But Eatonville is a thriving place. And I tell people, I'll put Eatonville first in my decisions. And that's one thing I do know. It's Eatonville first.